All right. Let me go to what I was about to start with. All right.
Hey, let's get to the regular intro.
Let's get to it.
Hey, yo, 2 words, Chi-Town, Southside, worldwide, cause I rep that till I fucking die. 1 neck, 2 chains, 1 waist, 2 gas, 1 wall, 20 plaques, dudes pay, give me that. I am limelight, blueprint, 5 mics, go get his rhyme like, should've been signed twice. Most imitated, Grammy nominated, hotel accommodated, cheerleader prom dated, barbershop player hated, mom and pop bootlegged it. Felt like it rained till the roof caved in, but 2 words, Chi-Town raised me crazy. So I live by 2 words, fuck you, pay me. Screaming, Jesus, save me. You know how the game be, I can't let them change me. Cause on judgment day, you gon' blame me. Look, God, it's the same me. Basically, no, now we get racially profiled, cuffed up and hosed down, pimped up and hold down. Plus, I got a whole city to hold down. From the bottom, so the top's the only place to go now. Ooh, boy.
Podcast. I'm your host, as always, every single week. Harry Danso here with my co-host, Ravon.
What's up?
What's going on? And always behind the camera, we have our guys, Kofi and Davidson. Actually, I had a quick question. Which way did you guys like, in general? Do you want me to say your name first? Did you want me to say your name first? Do you want me to mix it up?
Well, you can call me Mr. Go Left on a Bitch Who Can't Find Her Right Mind.
Okay. I'm not going to remember that. So
I got questions, to be honest, but all right.
I mean, you're more than welcome to ask.
Why?
I don't know, I just thought of it.
All right, that's fair.
Okay.
And does that go before Davidson or after Davidson?
Does that go before Davidson or after Davidson?
We'll just do it before, so the viewers don't get confused, you know what I'm saying?
All right, cool. I'll try to remember that for the next time.
I've already
How
forgotten.
the hell am I supposed to compete with that? You better say after, motherfucker.
All right, so as you guys heard, a little bit of Kanye. At this point, we know that his Jeen-Yuhs documentary has now dropped. At this point, I don't know if the second one's going to be out by the time we get this out there, but I mean, the first one's already out. Let's talk about it. We already got it going, so let's talk about it a little bit. You seen it?
I got through the first half of it. Yeah.
I've seen nothing besides what I've looked
Seen on
at.
Twitter.
Well,
on whatever.
Well, I use my Twitter for NFTs and crypto and stuff, but I have to do research here, so I tried to look on Twitter and see how everyone was perceiving it. And before I say what I saw on Twitter, I would love to hear what you thought about it so far.
Gotcha. So honestly, it was weird for me, just because I don't ever watch documentaries. You know me, I'm just a cartoon kid. I don't watch serious
I absolutely
stuff.
love documentaries.
Yeah, it's not for me. Okay. So for me to watch it was kind of taking a chance, but not really. I love Kanye. Yes. Hearing Don just say it, I've been saying Kanye my whole life. It's Kanye.
Okay.
But it was pretty cool. From the sense of every image or whatever I have of this dude is as a dude who's been so far in the industry, I continue to see him as his current self. Mm-hmm. So to see videos of him when he was 19, 20 years old was pretty crazy to be he's had this same drive for all this time.
Well, that was one of the things. So, I mean, obviously going through Twitter, I'm all right, let me start looking at the videos that's there and see what everyone's saying. And you literally watch the video, and honest to God, you couldn't tell the difference between how he acts today and how he acted back then.
Yep.
He just didn't have a million cameras in front of his face all day, but he did the same thing. Literally. All day long, bro.
All day.
That's crazy.
There were points where and I wish I remembered exactly what he said, but he would pretty much turn to the camera and just be yo, I'm out here doing this shit and I'm making music that's real to me. I'm not rapping about like no hard life Chicago stuff. It's not a quote, but it's pretty much what he spoke about, and it worked for him.
Well, the only thing that I don't that is a little bit inconsistent about what you just said and what he said on a more recent comments, talking about how he's like, oh, I made this type of music because it was more marketable, and I didn't really care. All I cared about was the gangster stuff. But you're not really about that life.
No.
So
he said it as a young. He's like, yeah, I don't care about that gangster stuff.
exactly. So we know you don't care, but it's okay. It works now.
It's
we all love you,
monetized.
Kanye. So right now, your first impression is good or bad?
It's
Absolutely
good.
great.
It's good.
Okay.
Granted, I'm only 45 minutes, and like I don't even think I've gotten to the drop of his first album
Wait,
yet.
how long is part one?
An hour and a half.
Okay.
So I'm halfway through.
Okay.
But no, it's pretty. Just footage I would have never thought I'd seen, like seeing him at Rockefeller Records playing All Falls Down for A&Rs, like just seeing him in there. Like when I think of someone playing music for an A&R, I think of like Bobby Shmurda standing on the table.
Oh, that's
you know
great.
What I'm
That's
saying?
absolutely great scene.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So it was interesting to see him doing it though, like years back, and I mean, it's what everyone does, but we don't ever see that kind of stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Oh,
and
wow.
shout out to, I don't want to say his name wrong.
Yeah.
I think Cootie. Who like recorded it, who's been with Ye for all this time, just
Really?
following him around with the camera. Yeah, so that's how it kind of starts. It's dude explaining himself, talking about like, yeah, I was working with Kanye. I knew he'd blow up. I wanted to make a documentary of him, so we started following him around with the camera. Documentary didn't drop for fucking 24 years.
And now he's probably gonna like
Blow up.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude, so that's what gets me is because I had no idea who this guy was. And as a person who, like, considers himself a big Kanye fan, you would assume that, like, you kind of know all the people in his circle, all the people around him. So to be like, who the hell is, like, maybe I'm just ignorant, but I'm like, yo, who is this guy? It's because he's always behind, or typically behind a camera, just following the guy. And then not releasing footage of this stuff.
well, he saved it for a great time.
Yeah.
And I'm actually very excited because I know this is part one. I can't wait till it gets kind of more into the 2010, 2013 range, where he's more morphing into trying to go to become Yeezus and have this company and do these type of things. So I do think it would be like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have that in there too, but
I'd like to hope so.
that's what I'm anticipating, some of those things.
Well, so I was slightly worried about that because, like I said, I'm 45 minutes into it, and I know that the whole thing is like 4 hours and a half overall.
Okay.
I'm 45 minutes in, and I'm not even at his first album yet. So I'm wondering at what point do they like just skip over parts of his life? You know what I mean?
And you don't want it to be rushed either.
I mean, exactly. I'm kind of enjoying like this beginning stage because it's a lot of stuff that I haven't seen, and I'm feeling like they might be like, yeah, everything from like 2017 on, you guys kind of know. Like, why would we show you that? But like it's stuff I want to see. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I'm interested to see where it goes from here.
Word. I know you say you don't really watch documentaries. Did you watch The Last Dance?
No.
Oh
no.
my God.
I kind of want to though.
Nah, you gotta watch it.
I kind of want to.
It's great, like a great documentary. And I'm a big documentary person, so sometimes they're a little. I mean, I've been watching a documentary called like "Don't Fuck with Cats." I don't know if you ever seen it.
No.
You gotta watch that too. It's actually kind of crazy.
Don't
But you don't
fuck
like
with
you don't like kind of serious shit.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
don't
like
care for it. I
about
like
like
jokes.
it's like about like a dude who was a murderer, and they only found out because a bunch of people love cats, and he like put cats in these weird videos. But that's besides the point. Like you gotta see. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, you gotta watch Last Dance. Like you're a sports person.
So pretty much why I didn't watch it at first was because like when it dropped, I think it dropped like what over like 5 weeks. It didn't all drop at once.
Yeah, it didn't drop at
that
once.
was it for me. I wanted to watch it all at once.
They have it on Netflix now, all at once.
Yeah, and then I got to it and I was like, oh, this is like 10 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll watch it. I have to watch it again this year.
No,
to.
it's on my list of things to watch this year. It's pretty funny from what I like. All I really know about it is what translated onto social media.
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
drama and the memes that came out of it.
All that stuff is just bullshit, but it's actually very good.
Actually, very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Does he make him the GOAT?
I mean, he's always the GOAT to me, even though LeBron's my favorite player, but I'm realistic. Even if he isn't the best player, he's the player that made the NBA the NBA. You know what I'm saying? If he took the NBA to a whole nother level, I have to give you that respect. LeBron is taking it to another business level, but Michael Jordan is the only owner that's black in the only black owner in literally between
The major sports.
in major sports. Majority owner, Michael Jordan's the only one. So I'm gonna give him that because he does what he has to do. But speaking of documentaries, we kind of glanced over a documentary I seen on YouTube from Vice that was speaking about cannabis. That talked a lot about how, the black market in cannabis is absolutely thriving right now.
Booming.
And it was remarkable to me because I'm like, wouldn't it be worse because of what we're doing? So I'm gonna play a little bit from the YouTube clip from Vice. I want to give you guys enough credit. You guys made the video. It's not made by me, made by Vice. So please don't come with your litigation.
No attacks.
Yeah. But yeah, let me play a little bit of the video. But yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. But yeah, here's the video.
Set these up.
For massive operations like this with thousands of plants, low penalties have become just the cost of doing business.
Never mind.
What's going to happen to that guy?
Most likely it's going to be a marijuana citation, and we'll release them. With COVID and stuff, we'd rarely take these people into jail unless it's a violent felony. But this is huge.
This is just some of the processed marijuana that they've raided here. It's a big mountain of pot. It's kind of a drop in the bucket. There's sites like this all around us, basically as far as the eye can see, other greenhouses of legal grow hops. So the sheriffs could be raiding properties like this all day, every day, and still not get rid of all of them, just in this one corner of the county.
The harm is that these growers can use toxic chemicals and pesticides, hijack water, and destroy the environment. The sheriff's department says organized crime has taken advantage. This county has seen seizures of illicit weed skyrocket over the last 5 years.
All right, so as you can see, if you don't know, I can help out and explain it a little bit. So this gentleman who's doing a documentary, he's in the car, he's talking with a police officer, and the sheriff is actually talking to him, about how there's a lot of illegal growers in California, and I don't want to be dry snitching. I don't want to dry snitch, but yes, there's a lot of illegal growers in California that obviously grow cannabis, and now that it's legalized, they're getting fined, but these people are growing so much, and the fines don't change depend on how much you grow, which is actually funny because in cannabis, where it's legalized, when you make an infraction for your business, you do get fined depending how big your business is. So the fact that they don't make that differentiation, if I said that right, I don't know if I did. I felt like I did. The fact that they don't, make that, I don't want to say it again.
Differentiation.
I don't want to say, I don't want to say it again. The fact that they don't do that with illegal growers is actually pretty crazy, because if you do it the right way and you do something wrong, you get fined based off of how big your company is, which is one of the rules that we learned when we started working here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so in the documentary talking about that, and I mean, is it surprising to you that
Yes. To hear it happening in California, yeah. Had you said here, I would have believed it for sure. Oh, well, kind of, sort of. But to hear it in California, where I feel like, for the most part, people consider California like one of the pinnacles of like the cannabis industry in the United States. So to hear that their black market has like skyrocketed is weird, because I'd assume that everything's dispensary. Granted, of course, there's always a black market, but I would assume that the dispensaries over there would be booming.
Yeah.
But that's not what they said in the video.
Yeah, I feel like and the thing about dispensaries, which is so crazy about the industry, is that it's lucrative if you know what you're doing, but it's also it's an abused industry. Like, people really want to be in it to just make the money.
Just make money, bro.
And leave it for, what I'm saying? It's really abused.
You know how many people own big companies in this industry who don't smoke?
Oh, Davidson, yeah. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I did. Hey,
Okay.
Hey, everyone. My thing is, like, do you think the whole process, I know the whole process of, getting a dispensary it's a process in itself. Do you feel like because the black market it's very large in a sense, right? It kind of forces them to be within this market because the whole process of even owning your own dispensary is at times a bit absurd. I even watched the documentary myself where it talked about one of the guys, he's trying to be in this social equity program, and he said he spent over $50,000 and still doesn't even have one up and running yet.
I mean, you want to hear that part? Yeah. I'll play it. I'll play it a little bit. And
Yeah, sure.
But before we do play it, should we play it or what do you think?
Well, I mean, I have an answer to it.
Oh, no,
honestly,
okay.
from my own perspective.
I'm all ears.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
But I personally, I mean, granted, $50K, that's a lot of money. I don't think that's a lot, considering it's California. In Massachusetts, it definitely takes a lot more money to open a dispensary. Well, I might be ignorant, I might be wrong, but I'm assuming so. It definitely takes a lot more from what I've heard from like owners out here. In California, I wouldn't necessarily consider 50 racks too much money.
See, but I think in the video, which I will play, the gentleman was talking about how that was all out of pocket, and he still wasn't up and running. Like if you spend $50,000 and you don't even have a business yet, well, I mean, I would be demoralized. Granted, I wouldn't give up because I'm like, if I put $50,000, I'm dying before I let you take my 50 racks. But yes, I mean, it's a little bit demoralizing to spend that much money and not get any type of return for it.
Do you feel like there's some sort of like a lottery system? Because I know there's probably a statistic, like, let's say like 300 people probably apply for it, and then only maybe, let's say like 30 people are the only ones that get their applications accepted, and then they probably have to go through another funnel and then another to even, in the long run, even get a dispensary.
Well, the thing about it, I'm pretty after listening to Ulysses, because I mean, if you guys don't know, I do another radio show. I do a radio show with the owner of the dispensary here. It's called Infused Influence. Just kind of a shameless plug. But I've listened to him so many times talk about his story, and the thing about owning a dispensary or getting started is that you need a lot of the other parts to work. So you need someone who has some legal background in order to make sure that you're signing your licenses correctly, make sure everything's right. It's also important that you have a building ready to go before you even decide to do it, because it's so important to have a place, especially out here. You need somewhere to sell cannabis.
And there's a lot of places that you can't do it at.
You know what I'm saying? You need to know where you can do it. You need to be a certain distance away from schools, from housing properties. Like, you need those type of regulations, and that's where the difficulty comes in.
And I might be wrong again, but like I want to assume that aggressive market is mainly here in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
In California, I feel like ignorance again, but like there's like a dispensary everywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
No, they're really
everywhere.
There really is. And the thing about it is, like, because there's a dispensary everywhere, and because I think we talked about it a little earlier, because it's so, like, out here in Massachusetts, it's a little bit harder to have a black market take over as much as I think it probably can in California, because no one's gonna buy, like, everyone buys off of quality, especially with cannabis. Like, some people buy off of price, but you want the best price for the best quality. With Massachusetts, you have to grow it in your house. You can't grow it outside all year long.
And you legally only get like 6 plants a person or per household.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're growing at your house. Some people can really do it well, but it takes a certain type of person to have the right environment, even in their house, to do that. In California, I'm not saying that it's just always sunny, but I'm saying it's always sunny.
I really wish we were talking about Philadelphia.
I know. But hold on, let me play the clip of when the gentleman was speaking about his difficulties with cannabis. Hold on. Okay. Oh, hold on. Let's wait for YouTube to.
A YouTube ad, bro.
Oh my lord.
It's really sickening. It's the downfall of that app.
I'm a felon. I've been to prison. Not in 100 years would I thought that I would be able to own a dispensary or have anything to do with legalized marijuana. Not for 100 years.
But the system is not working as intended. Of the 205 verified social equity applicants in Los Angeles qualified to run retail shops, only 38 have actually managed to obtain temporary licenses to operate.
It's harder than people actually think, because to actually get your license, but you have to have a building within Los Angeles City, not to mention the taxes, It makes it almost impossible to operate, especially for somebody that doesn't have a bunch of money even to get started.
How much of your own money have you spent trying to get this off the ground?
30, 40, 50,000, something like that.
And still not able to operate and see any returns out there? How's that feel?
Humiliating. Yeah.
Does it ever make?
All right, at that part when he said it was humiliating, I kind of felt bad at that point.
Yeah, like I tried to say it earlier. We used the word demoralizing, but it's not very cool. And it kind of touches back to Davidson's point as well. So I'm a social equity person here in the state of Massachusetts. Thinking about it, I don't have a license. I'm realizing I qualified, I am in the program, but aside from that, I don't know what to do. I'm still waiting to get a survey from them or something like that, to go to a class. That's mandatory. So really crazy to hear that they've got over 200 people qualified for it, and only in the 30s have had actual licenses. It's almost performative, more or less.
You know what I'm saying? It's. I mean, I know you're not a big football guy, but it's kind of like the Rooney Rule where they, interview a bunch of black coaches and don't really hire them or give them the worst jobs, so then they'll get fired pretty shortly after, and then it's we hired him.
What are you going to say about it?
You know what I'm saying? So it's we're going to give these people who've been, struggling this whole time an opportunity to be in this industry.
You got to say this when you say opportunity.
Opportunity, but then also not give them a fair chance to actually get in there.
Sounds like a broken system to me.
I mean, listen, we live in the greatest country in the world, right?
Which is also a broken system, or?
I mean, listen, I'm just making sure that, IRS don't check out my taxes.
I'm just trying to get my family fed.
Yeah, I'm just trying to feed my family. So
I ain't saying nothing crazy about nobody. That's all.
If you guys want to hear some real stuff, check out, we'll come up with some other content where we can really go crazy. But
we'll make an unscripted, well, this is unscripted, but we'll make a podcast where we just talk shit. I could do that.
I would love to do that. Was there any other takeaways that you saw from that documentary that you really felt
I think that around the middle point where the other black gentleman was discussing being in the illicit market and being in it for so long and seeing it boom the way it is and it being great for him, and just his his negativity towards the legal market and being we've been doing this shit, bro. Y'all aren't gonna come here and tell us what we can and can't do.
Continue.
Well, no, that was pretty much it. But he's this is what we've been doing. I've been doing it successfully for the past 20 years. It was actually crazy, by the way, that he said that. I was you just incriminating yourself like that?
I mean, you can't get arrested.
He did keep a mask on.
He did keep the mask on, so he's no face, no case. But that was a very important. That was a very interesting part to me because he almost he asked him, "Did you want to do you want to be would you do it legally?" And he was like, "Yeah, I would do it legally, but if I don't get the opportunity, I don't really care because I'm making so much. It doesn't really matter."
Yeah,
and
he's just fine where he's at.
I mean, for him to say that he's been he is part of the people who are actually making this possible for people to do it. The people that took the chances all these years and did all these things are kind of the reason why it's legalized, because that's what made people love the plant so much.
Yeah, because prior to dispensaries, how's you even getting it?
You know what I'm saying? It's you have to get it from somewhere. So having that opportunity to get it, and these people are the ones who are doing it, they're the ones who actually built the culture, and now everybody else are the ones who are actually, monetizing off of it. And that's where this industry Like, we have to really keep an eye on it, and we have to really, bring it to the forefront. Like, the people who are actually doing who did these things should get a fair chance, regardless of if they had a charge, regardless of whatever you guys, they should get a fair chance, or they're going to keep doing stuff like this.
Yep. And that's also where I think that story from California differs from here in Massachusetts, where
How good.
I can't tell you the real numbers of like if the black market is booming or not in Massachusetts, but to know that it's booming in California, because that was already the culture out there, was like cannabis culture was popular over there. Like everyone smokes, Here it's still pretty stigmatized to a point where like if you're new to it or whatever, you don't really have a plug to go to.
Yeah.
Like out there where they're just growing it outdoors for everybody. So I think here people just need to go more towards dispensaries because they don't have as deep of a black market as other places have.
Yeah, and the product isn't as good. I mean, here I guess it can be as good. Like, I've had some black market back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
Like 3 years ago.
You know what I'm saying? Some good, some good stuff back in the day was on the black market. But honestly, those probably are some of the same products that we're going to be putting in dispensaries anyways. You see what I'm saying? And I do think it's safer. I'm all about safety when it comes to cannabis. I'm really big. Like, I love organic stuff, all that stuff. It's safer to actually buy from a dispensary because you know that it's tested correctly. So if you are looking to go in the black market versus a dispensary, I'm not mad at you because, shout out to a black market. You get a lot of things that you need on the black market. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But, I ain't going to hate on the black market. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no hater. But if you are looking for safety, a dispensary may be the place to go. And I'm not going to pretend like that's not a fact. Because, if you buy some kicks off the black market, you risk them being fake.
That's why you don't do it. Yeah. You ever buy a CD on the black market? It's bootleg. It's,
I was usually the kid that was burning the CDs. So I've never bought a CD.
I see the black market's helped you out as well.
I mean, listen. No face, no case.
And this is for the record.
No, I don't know nothing about none of that. I do everything legally. You know what I'm saying? That's all I know.
And on top of like the reason that's not just what's the word, like the safetiness of it, and in some cases the prices are more or less the same between dispensaries and the streets.
Nowadays it actually is, especially out here. Like, you'll get an eighth and on the street, and it low key be 50 bills.
Yeah, just because it's in a package that say runts on it.
You know what I'm saying? And they're like, "Yo, bro, like, you know what I had to do to grab this?"
I had
and
to
I'm
go
like,
to Cali, bro.
"Come on now." Versus coming here, you can get an 8 for 50. You can also get an 8 for 36.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I agree with you. But let's see if we had anything else on there. Honestly, before I had a list of things we were gonna talk about. We come with lists that
we're not just out here bullshit.
Yeah, we're not just out pretending.
Yeah.
I was gonna talk. I really wanted to make a segment about what happens with these two gentlemen I work with, but I think I might save it for another week. Granted. All right, so if no one knows, I work in IT now. And I think I talked about this on another episode. I've gotten a lot better since my first time talking about it. And it's only been like a week. But there are some disturbing things that happen, like today. And I'm not going to say his name because I want to put his name out there. I'm going to just give him I'm going to give him a name. What do you guys think the name should be? Kof?
Howard.
Okay, cool. Howard is a great name. His name is Howard.
Actually fits so well.
It fits. All right, and you got to come with the name for the other person too. So Howard is he's probably like in his 50s. He's a middle-aged man. He kind of reminds me literally of Stewie when he grows up. Like, if you take the picture of Stewie as a grown-up, you take this gentleman, you can't tell the difference. Now he talks pretty slow. So again, so he talks pretty slow, but he has kind of dry humor. So I kind of fuck with the humor because he kind of like makes stupid jokes,
Driving
and I'm
was
the
the
only
best.
one that's laughing, and nobody else. Everyone's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "You don't
That was a
understand."
banger.
Like, he literally be making jokes to our managers who are Indian who live in Canada. They do not understand these jokes you're making
At all.
I'm the only one sitting there, and I'm like,
I give him a chuckle.
I give him a chuckle. But what he did today was very disturbing. We're chilling and we're talking. we're talking. And I'm asking him a question like, yo, like, how do you, like, come up with labels so we can deliver these, tablets to these people? And he's like, oh, yeah, give me 1 second. He, like, looks at me, and he's, like, talking, and he, like, reaches for a tissue. And literally, I didn't know what came out of his nose. Something came out of his nose at first. I was like, yo, what is going on here? Not realizing, after I saw it on his shirt, there was blood. And I was like, oh, my Lord. Now, like I told you, this man looks like Stewie. He is about 150 pounds. Not even. He's probably like 120. He's like 120, and he's like 5'11".
Built like a model.
Nah. Very, very, very frail. Very frail. So I'm like, I don't know if I got to call the doctors, get this man to the hospital, or whatever. But the point of the story is I'm going to try to come up with great, unique stories on what happens with these two gentlemen. So Howard, and what's the other gentleman's name? What are we going for a second name for this other gentleman?
Stanley.
I think Steve would be a little bit better. Kind of reminds me of Steve, but Stanley's cool too. Because the gentleman reminds me of Steve, because if you guys watch Euphoria, he kind of reminds me of
Cal.
Oh, what's
Nate's dad.
Nate's dad. He reminds me of Nate's dad. So next time I talk about the story, I know you don't watch Euphoria.
No, I haven't watched the second season yet. I gotta wait for it to all drop at once.
Okay, cool. So Nate, you know Nate?
Yeah.
Okay, his dad literally reminds me of this gentleman.
That's actually kind of sick from what I remember about dude's dad. He's
Okay,
not a cool guy.
No, just his look, wise.
Okay.
Wise. He kind of reminds me of how he looks. So next time when I come on this show, I'm gonna come with a very, very good story about these two gentlemen, because they kind of remind me of, like, what's that book you read in high school, Davidson? It was like a big guy and a small guy.
Oh, of Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men. They kind of remind me of, like, that kind of bond. Like, of Mice and Men, it kind of reminds me of that bond. So I will come up with stories because these guys are hilarious. Like, this is like.
See, I thought you were gonna say, like, back in the day, like elementary school, Toad and Frog. Remember that shit?
All right, he kind of reminds me of that too. Like, it just reminds you of that one kid who's like a nerd and actually gets to hang out with the jock. And, like, now he's, like, so excited.
Yeah, this is totally 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
These two don't go together, but.
So that was on my list of things to talk about, but, we kind of went to some other things, so I'm glad we talked about it.
That kind of explains a lot. I was looking at the list you sent me, and I was like, who are these guys? I'm not going to say their names, but, yeah, I was like, who is these dudes?
Oh, yeah, okay.
I mean, I remember the song. I just forgot.
You can forget the name, so that makes sense. So we talked about our cannabis thing. Now we're get to the fun stuff. I'm sure one of you guys are going to want to go to the mic right now. We're talking about NBA second half reviews. Woo! NBA second half. I wish I had some NBA music to play in the background. I probably will next time.
I actually just played some NBA Jam yesterday. I'm like an arcade, bro.
Really?
Hot.
Yeah?
It was hot.
Okay. So where's your predictions? I know you're a Celtics fan, but I know you're also an NBA fan. You have League Pass, so you have to be a fan if you're willing to pay to watch every
all
game.
that money yet.
Exactly. So, you know what? I want to start with Davidson today. And actually, before I start, because we're in our dispensary, shout out to my homegirl who
I was about to say the
who
same
does Instacart.
thing.
She comes to every single day. No, you're not on camera. You're not on camera.
I won't say your name, but shout out to my girl. How you doing? I'm tired.
She comes here every single day.
That's my dog.
She does Instacart and comes, gets pre-rolls.
She about her money.
I love everybody that does Instacart because I know y'all bought y'all bread, so I respect y'all. So shout out to her. Second half reviews. Second half reviews. How do you feel? What are you looking at? I don't want to start because I know I'm gonna go into some real dark places.
Oh God.
So talk
because
about.
you're late. Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you go. But as a Celtics fan, I'm looking really optimistic, man. I'm looking really optimistic.
Fuck the Celtics, man. They lost to Detroit yesterday. Couldn't even
fucking cover.
You know what? That's okay. Detroit hit like 53% of their threes. We had no Robert Williams. We had no Marcus Smart. 2 players who should be on a Defensive Player of the Year award type of thing.
Nah. It's Detroit Pistons.
It's okay.
Yeah,
You know
Davison's a little bit upset because
he on the night of it back. He seems like he lost money.
he put on a parlay. He went to Foxwoods and put on a parlay.
Rookie mistake.
Didn't do the research. And, it's okay. He came up on a different game. We'll talk about that after. But, yes, continue.
No. Oh, if I can. Nah, man, I'm very excited for the Celtics team. This defensive unit that they've got right now. I mean, we just put Philly down by 50 on national TV, back-to-back national TV games.
Without Harden, it's without Harden. But go ahead, continue.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, like any game that Philly's lost this year has all been without Harden, so we'll keep it like that.
And Ben Simmons, but continue.
Every game is without Ben Simmons still.
Exactly.
But yes.
On that note, I'm excited to see what that pairing's going to be. Ben Simmons, Kyrie, and KD. That should be interesting as hell because Kyrie played really well off the ball when James Harden was their point. So I'm wondering if they'll keep Ben Simmons at point and let Kyrie kind of play shooting guard because, I mean, he's dirty.
Yeah.
He's very dirty. I would like to see the 76ers play with James Harden. That would be kind of cool.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. I know some people have their reservations, but I'm like I said, James Harden's first game, he's going off. Embiid is going off.
So we've actually talked about this, and I remember that we did you guys had a bet of over or under of James Harden to scoring 30 or more in his first game.
Me and Dave to have a meal on it.
I mean, yeah. I guess I dreamed this because I guess he hasn't played yet, but in his first game he drops 21. I guess that must have been a dream I had. But
okay,
I've seen this happen. He drops 21 in the first game.
If he drops 21,
quote me on that.
Honest to God, if he drops 21, you're gonna give me numbers for some type of lottery, and I'm gonna do it. Or you need to have another dream or something, because if that happens, that's crazy. But he gonna drop 32.
Who they play in their first game?
Who's James Harden playing in his first game back?
I mean, we don't know yet.
If he comes back next Friday like he's supposed to.
If he comes back even next...
I don't know. It wasn't the Bucks because they're playing the Bucks today.
It was
someone that was decent on the East. It might be Boston. No, but they just played Boston as well. I'll let my stats guy check that out. So I'll tell you about how I feel. And by the way, if you guys are listening, Ravon will give us his review.
Yeah, their first game will be the Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. Have a great one.
Peace out.
Ravon will give us his review on Kush Orange Juice. So stay tuned for that.
Let me pull up the track list.
And he said the Timberwolves, right? So that's gonna be he's going for 30. But for my review for the second half, I am very excited for Harden and Embiid. I am very scared for my team not to even make the playoffs.
Yo, it's looking scary. Well, actually, no. They won a game last night, right? Russ hit 2 free throws in a row.
But AD is now injured.
Oh, yeah.
So that is very scary. Davison did win his, single straight game for the Lakers. Granted, we said we would never bet on the Lakers again, but, rules are made to be broken.
We call him street clothes again or no?
He might as well. I thought he was really I thought Charles Barkley was forcing when he said that, but
I did too.
He is 100% right. I'm not even going to go on and on because I don't want to go crazy about this. But yes, I think the second half is going to be a much better half of the season, as always. All-Star game, All-Star weekend, I hope, is what we hope for. I know it's going to be a little bit different because a lot of the players that I expect to be in it, that you expect to be in it normally, aren't in it. There's a lot of new players in it. Fred VanVleet, John Morant, LaMelo.
They got DeJounte Murray. Who is very well deserving of a spot.
100%. They got old boy from the Cavaliers,
Jared Allen, and Darius Garland. Yeah,
and Darius Garland. I love that guy. I am excited for the Celtics because Jaylen Brown did not make the All-Star game,
and he's been on a tear.
He's been going off, and he posted something. Granted, it's so weird how I see things that I'm not even on IG or anything really that much anymore. I do look at Hot New Hip Hop, so that's why I see shit. But they talked about how Jaylen Brown put a kind of a meme post of Kanye. You know, Kanye kind of did like a picture where he said like, what do you put?
He said, "I'm not hacked," right?
Yeah, he said, I'm not hacked.
That shit was funny.
And Jaylen Brown said, I'm not in the All-Star game. So
Oh, I didn't see that. That's
go
funny.
check out that post. It's going to go crazy. He's going to have to go out for the rest of the season because he should have been All-Star. But yes, gentlemen, do you guys have any predictions? Nothing right now? Do you guys want to wait for Kofi? No, give me what you got. Give me what you got.
I mean, in regards to that James Harden and Ben Simmons trade, I feel like both parties or both teams, it was pretty even. That's what I think.
Okay, I feel like it was a fair trade. For now, I don't know. I feel like someone on the Nets is gonna get injured. I feel like I put that energy out there. I don't want to put that out there, but I feel like someone's gonna get injured. It happens.
You just put that energy out there.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna be honest.
Say,
Because
I'm not trying to put that energy out there, but I'm putting that energy out there.
Yeah.
Stop fucking being a contradiction over there, motherfucker.
it happens every year, so I'm gonna go with the odds versus.
The evens.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe they might break the mold, man. Who knows?
I hope not.
Maybe
No,
Kyrie
you
gets the
hope not. I know
vaccine.
you.
I hope not.
We should have did a bet, man. Who goes further, man? The Nets or the Lakers?
We can revisit that after the
Wait,
after the
that's
first
actually
game.
that's a good question. That's actually kind of a good
Oh,
question.
the Nets or the Lakers?
Who's going further?
I know my team ain't going nowhere, bro. Look at our roster. We're trash. And if we go somewhere, I'll be hyped.
Buy out markets.
Yeah, whatever. All right. So, do I have to play another? Tell me what you want me to play from Kush Orange Juice because I'm gonna play it.
Okay. I think my favorite song was, I want to say Visions, just because it had, I think, the nicest beat. I like Slim Skit though as well.
Okay, hold on. Let's get into it. Because.
Dig, man. My name is Slim. You know what I'm saying? My mama named me Charles. But the people they call me Slim. And you know, I've been on this Kush Orange Juice, man. It's a wicked thing, brother. You know, I done been around, seen a lot of faces. But my old lady, she won't roll my weed up for me, man.
That's always a difficult time, you know. That's always difficult. All right, give me a review.
So my review is, so I'm definitely a fan of the second half of the album more than the first, I think.
Okay.
And so listening to it on Apple Music, they do that thing where, you see like the starred songs on the album, which weren't necessarily my favorite songs on the album. I mean, The Kid Frankie, that's the title of the last episode. That's a good song. But I liked that song. That's Slim Skit. I liked Divisions. I liked the different beats on it where he wasn't just like rapping. And as I got more through the album, I was kind of shocked to see like his turn.
Going forward, let's listen to all those mixtapes on that Piff, please and thank you.
I'm so sorry, bro.
we got you. So, do you feel like it's something that you missed out on back in the day, or do you think that?
Kind of, sort of. Yeah, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I'm going to say no, just because it wasn't my lifestyle. Not to say I listened to music that just accentuated my lifestyle back then when this came out. What is this, 2010? I was 13 years old. Yeah, I wasn't, you know what I mean?
Honestly, I didn't listen to this until probably 2016, really? Because I wasn't the biggest fan of Wiz early. I hated Black and Yellow.
So that's what also got me about him. I was like, I know Wiz, but I know his hits, you know what I'm saying? I know what he has on the radio. And
why are you doing those stupid hits when you make great music?
No, I was like, yo, this is good. Yeah. Some of these songs will become part of my rotation in this last half of the album. It was good.
Yeah. All right, word. Well, I'm glad to, share some things. On a week-to-week basis, we're gonna try to share, music with each other, and then hopefully you guys get to hear it too. So if you guys, want to hear some of the music, and I think we'll try to get that link from the YouTube video that we did from the other segment. We'll try to get that on the page as well, so you guys can check out that video as well.
Leave a comment about songs or albums you want to hear us review.
100%. Songs you want to review, stuff like that. Leave a comment on the YouTube page, IG page,
Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter,
whatever.
Email.
What do you come with this week if you have anything that you want me to
I got something for you, but I assume you might have listened to some of this before.
I do listen to a lot of music, but that's okay.
What's heavy in my rotation right now, / this is the album that's in my car, so it's what I listen to a lot right now. You like Jill Scott?
I don't mind Jill Scott. Yeah.
Right, okay. Well,
I've heard good things about her.
She got a lot.
I'm sorry, Jill Scott. I don't want to be disrespectful. You're a wonderful woman.
I'm still looking for the tape. Whatever. I'll say listen to Who is Jill Scott, Words and Sounds, Volume 1.
Y'all heard that? Who is Jill Scott, Volume 1 will come under review next week. All right, word. Did you have anything else you guys wanted to share with the people?
I'll shave eventually, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
2 weeks in a row, my hair is done correctly, so Ravon's girlfriend's mother doesn't have to come at me.
Coming correct, buddy.
I'm trying my best.
I'm proud.
And I did want to say one last thing. Because I remember something you said to me. You asked me the other day, and you said, do I care about what I wear on the podcast? Do I think about, changing up because I'm going to be on the fucking...
No, people are seeing me right now.
Seeing me every single week. And I've come to a conclusion. I don't give a damn. And I'll tell you why. Because when I do actually have some, I can dress very well, but in my mind, I'm not there yet. Mm-hmm. So when I get there, my attire will tell you where I'm at. Right now I'm in work mode, and I'm on, we gonna wear the same clothes for a week straight. I got some things in the closet, we can pull them out. But we're gonna wear the same thing for a week straight because we in grind mode. So when you see me wearing stuff, you're like, oh yeah, he's wearing the same thing, da-da-da. Remember, I don't give a fuck.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of people should look at that. Look at life like that. You know what I'm saying? So, as always, we love you, family. At this point, we might as well just be cousins. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are cousins nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Because shit, half the cousins, I don't barely see half my cousins out anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all gonna hear a lot about us
on a week-to-week basis. And I hope we learn some things about y'all. So, I don't really have a way to close the show just yet, but we'll get there too.
Yeah, no, we'll figure it out.
We'll get there too. And I love that Hardy.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You're always on the edge with the clothes, so I appreciate that.
I try. So funny, I guess, because to your point, when I was in college, something I lived by, and I still kind of do, is that whether or not you're dressed to the nines to go out, you could die whenever, bro. Niggas die every day. When you die, the clothes you're wearing are your ghost clothes forever. So just make sure that you're always wearing something.
Look at me a round of applause.
You might be in that bitch forever.
For that. Oh my God, my ghost clothes. It can't be no work clothes. So we gonna get there. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. Granted, you don't got a choice. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put that out there. You don't got a choice.
I did that wrong. I don't know how to do it, but
we're gonna make sure the ghost clothes are fire. We have 50 minutes. Holla at us. Peace.
Please.